7:30 in the morning. I worked all night. Well, I didn't work all night, but alright, scratch that. I worked last night. I went home, took a shower, got the bike, went to a meeting, and now I'll be home at 8. And I woke up at 2 yesterday p.m. So, yeah. But, yeah, so I'm gonna be all over the place. But the moral of this story is, so I bought a 450, okay? I sold the DRZ and I bought a 450, a YFZ 450R, the 09 and up. It's 2014. You know, back when I was what, 14, I had an 09 when I was like 13 or something like that. Something like that. I had an 09 back in the day, which is the first year of the EFI, which 09 to present is pretty much the same bike. They have different, a little bit different, like, you know, 09, 010 had the good clutch baskets, you know, and so on, motor stuff. Anyways, so I sold the DRZ, and I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, you know, I had a lot of money in the DRZ. Obviously, DRZs aren't that expensive. I can always get another one. You know, it was my first brand new bike, but I sold the DRZ because I've been buying and selling bikes lately. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna freaking take that old money and make new money with it. And then I sold the DRZ for 34. And I found this YFZ clean title 2014 for 3,800 bucks. Okay, which is, you know, it's a fair price if you don't know what it is. You know, they hold their value really well. But the bike didn't run, and you know, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go check it out. You know, I'll give them 3K for a YFZ that don't run. You know, freaking, it might cost me 1,500 bucks to fix it, whatever. So I went and looked at the bike. It was from an old couple. Like, literally, the guy that rode it was literally like 70 years old. When I tell you this bike is fucking clean, like there's 2023s that aren't, there's 24s, there's 25s that aren't as clean as this bike. You know, it's got, need some air. It's got bead locks all the way around, Nerf bars. It's got a Works crank, a Works 478 big bore, race tech suspension all the way around, powder coated everything, and it's a nice bike. And I was like, you know what, you know, I was gonna lowball them, but I was like, you know what, as they were talking, they showed me receipts of all the work getting done, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pay them the 38. I'm sure it's something simple. The battery was dead, but there was a video on Marketplace that was like, it was trying to start. So at first I thought it was just like the one-way clutch. This bike's so fucking awesome. And I didn't even get it to crank over, but I just seen the receipts. I seen how clean it was. You know, I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I bought it, brought it home, and what was the first thing I did? Oh, first thing, I was thinking, you know, injectors, because in my 09, the injectors would get dirty real easy. You know, it don't take much, it'll get past that bag and the fuel pump. And little do you know, I didn't even, I put the battery to it and tried starting it. Like, I put a battery charger to it, tried starting it. Obviously it's not gonna fucking start. But then I realized, I was like, well, let me just take the injector out, right? And like, I didn't even realize this whole time that the pump wasn't kicking on, okay? So like, I pulled the injector out, I cleaned it, and like, in the process of cleaning the injector, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, turned the key, plugged in the pump. I was like, this doesn't come out of the pump. And I looked in the tank and I smelled it. It was bad gas. I was like, well, you know, I figured it's gonna pump out regardless. Wrong. So those pumps, if these YFZ 450s sit for like a year, the pumps just go bad. It's like a Nintendo Switch. You let it sit going dead, and eventually broken. But yeah, so the pump was bad, okay? And then like inside the tank, I shit you not, there was like two handfuls of dirt and rust. Like, I guess it was just all rust from the pump, which is the dirt. You know? Anyways, it was like 2 handfuls of dirt in the fucking tank, okay? The gas was orange. The only fishy thing is, the girl, it was her husband's bike, and then the girl sold it, but her brother posted it. You know, they were old heads. And oh yeah, the thing's got a freaking recluse clutch. It's got a freaking chain saver. I could just go on. It's got so much stuff. It had a power commander. I'm putting a vortex on it, full exhaust. You know, it runs way too lean for that fucking. They only ran it 2 times after it got built, and I'm pretty sure I know why, because it was just running way too freaking hot. But fuck, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, I pulled the tank off, and I'm like, I thought the tank was like black on the inside. Bro, I cleaned the tank. It's like a white tank on the inside, like that clear plastic color. My legs up here. Oh yeah, that's nice. So I cleaned the tank, and I was like, man, there's probably stuff in that injector. Let me go ahead and pull the injector. So on these bikes, it's tricky to pull the injector. You do it once, and you kind of figure out your little method to pull it. You know, I took the top of the shock off on the rear and just fucking pulled it back, and you know, that was the first time. The second time, I fucked the O-ring up. But anyways, pulled the injector out, right? The injector was literally, like, it wasn't that bad. The injector itself wasn't that bad, but like on the outside of the inside of the injector, like the part of the injector that sits in the throttle body was covered in dirt. And I was like, bro, no. I was like, this thing is probably fucking fucked if dirt got into that cylinder. So literally, put it in neutral. Fuck. Literally, so I was like, alright, fuck, I better pull the throttle body off. So I pulled the throttle body off, spotless. It was literally just on the injector. It was like calciumized. But anyways, so I made my little setup to clean the injector. All you gotta do is put like 9 or 12 volts. I use a 9-volt battery just to be safe, to the injector, and you just tap the power. So I was tapping the power, and I used some freaking you know, carb cleaner, whatever the fuck I had, and I just like taped it to the fuel. I put the injector in the fuel rail, and then the line. I did like a little system I had, and I was able to like pressurize the fuel rail with some cleaner and stat it. And like an injector is supposed to really mist, you know, there's got little orifice holes. I'm pretty sure the YFC's got 12 orifice holes, and it's supposed to mist, right? And it misted pretty fucking good, right? So I was like, all right, injector's good. I was like, well, it just needs a pump. So I cleaned up the tank and everything, and I bought a fucking, this is where I fucked up. I bought a cheap $30 fucking fuel pump off eBay, right? Now, mind you, the bike does run, okay? I put that pump in, the bitch fired right up. And ripped it down the road, but it was just running way too lean, so I parked it. So now, this is where I kind of figure I fucked up, because like obviously the power commander is only going to give it so much fuel. So I was like, alright, I'm going to go ahead and put a vortex on it. If I'm going to put a vortex, because it had a stock pipe, it had a full DASA, but they took it off, put a stock pipe because the old man was riding it. Anyways, so I ordered a vortex and a full pipe, right? And you know, fuel customs intake, so anyways, it is at the 478 big bore. All it's missing is cams, and the bitch is fully built pretty much. And I'll go slower. So that's what's beautiful about this bike, just beautiful. And so I'm waiting on the vortex to come in. You know, obviously I just wanted to hear that thing run, so I wasted $30 on a pump, because the pump does work, but it's never that fucking China pump is never going to supply the amount of pressure that I need to, you know, it's just going to fall flat on its face. Because like when you have that injector on those YFZs and the line's off and you turn it, it's literally supposed to fucking spray out like a motherfucker. And it sprays okay enough to run, but I'm not gonna wait until I get my full exhaust and everything, and then, because I've already freaking, it was like $1,800 for the vortex. The vortex is like $800 alone, and the full exhaust, the DASA, powder coated white, the blue sticker. Anyways, so it's I'm in it, you know, a decent amount of money, I definitely, I pretty much traded the DRZ for a Bill 450 with like cash on top. You know, that's just the way to justify it. And it's okay because like I've always wanted one of those again. And they are like, I really do like the TRX 450Rs, but like, because they're like the least fucking electronics to them. There's so much shit in these YFCs, but they are just one of the best. Well, they definitely are the best 450s you can just go out and buy right now. Like, I'm not sure. I mean, KTM probably still makes a 450. I don't know, but they're just badass. Okay. And the one I had back in the day was, I got it from a fucking racer. It was fucking Bill. It was, I think it was stock bore, head cams, intake, exhaust. The thing was fucking nasty. You know, hopefully I'm not just doing this for nothing, because I know me, I do this to these bikes and then I don't ride them. So it's like, at least this bike I fucking ride. And you know, fucking $700 for the fucking exhaust, whatever the fuck, it was $1,600, $1,650, something like that in the tune. But this bike's fucking nasty as fuck. And when you buy a bike on payments, you're kind of forced to keep it for at least until it's paid off, unless you're stupid and you just sell it out anyways, you know. So that's the story of, I got a 450 again, and you know, I'll make a video on it. I just need to go ahead and flip up some more money, try not to spend my work money, you know, flip up some more money and buy the actual fuel pump for it, because it's not cheap. It's like a $350 fucking fuel pump. That's why I didn't want to buy the fuel pump off the bat, because if the bike was fucking blown and I needed a fuel pump, I would have just fucking cut my losses and probably sold it, but like, yeah, it needs a fucking fuel pump and it's fucking locked up, you know. So, but that's not the case. It turned out pretty fucking good. I got lucky. So yeah, it runs fucking good. It's like fucking everything fucking works. Fucking, like literally, the bike's like in mint condition. Powder coat everywhere. Fucking heartburn. But yeah, fucking, that's just the update on the 450. It's fucking sick, bro. Yeah, peace out.